Hey, what's up, everybody? That's right. You might have thought we were gone, but we're still here. It's the Unprofessionals. We in here for episode 9. As always, it's your boy Slim.
And your boy Caesar. Very glad for y'all to be joining us here for episode 9. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. First and foremost, we want to start off by sending out our condolences and our hopeful wishes for the state of Texas, for the city of Houston, after the impact of Hurricane Harvey. I'm a native Texan, so is he. Matter of fact, Caesar's from Houston.
Yeah, and I know that there were a lot of people that I know who were impacted. Most of them not severely, but there was a lot of devastation in the city. But a lot of people coming together, definitely hashtag Houston Strong. It'll take a while to rebuild, but if there are any cities in Houston, any cities in Texas that'll bounce back, Houston is definitely one of them.
Yeah, so we're looking for that to go ahead and bounce back, and we can always make trips back to the Dirty H. Now, I kind of feel a little bit like Timberland and Magoo. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you, but hey, it's what it is. Like I said before, we are professional. We out here in the real world trying to make it happen, getting it done when we can, and maybe we need a little summertime break. This dude got a whole bunch of kids. I'm planning a wedding. It's all that, what it is in life.
Oftentimes you have situations that come up, life circumstances take over and they become priority.
Yes.
But again, we're here. So
let's go ahead and get into it. Topic number 1 on this return episode.
So there was a trade that happened in the NUBA.
In the
NBA that
right.
That I'm curious and have been curious to hear what you think about it. Boston and Cleveland, what's going on?
The Cleveland trading Kyrie was not unexpected. After he came out and said what he said, I'll make a comment about that later about his relationship with LeBron and whether or not this was orchestrated or not in the back room. But knew he could not start the year, training camp and any of that stuff with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Knew that. So he was going to be out of there no matter what. Kind of surprising that he went to Boston. Mind you, Cleveland played the Celtics in the finals this past year.
Yeah.
So he goes to that team, but now marketing-wise, it creates an instant rivalry. I've been talking trash about my big bro Bron, and now I'm going over to the Celtics to team up and try to topple you from the thing.
Alleged trash.
Alleged. But another thing that was surprising to me about the trade was I knew Boston was going to be active in free agency and trading and moving around in that roster. But if you look at what they have left, I mean, the team that went to the finals, there's really nobody left on that team but Jaylen Brown. I mean, and Marcus Smart. And they traded away everybody else and all their assets. But like I said, do I think Kyrie is worth all those assets that Cleveland got back in return? I'm not for certain. But I do know that Boston made the deal that they felt was right. And Cleveland actually got a little bit better.
Okay, but what did they really lose? I mean, you got Kyrie, basically in my mind, you got Kyrie for Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
Now, Isaiah Thomas goes to Cleveland. There was the hang-up we don't know if he's healthy. First of all, stop it. You knew what Isaiah Thomas was dealing with. Nobody hid that.
Right.
For you to even engage in that conversation, knowing publicly that he hurt his hip during the finals that they played against y'all, you knew he was damaged goods. Didn't have surgery.
Right.
He was rehabbing. All of that was on the table. James Crowder. I mean, I like Jay Crowder, but
I thought he should have been gone before Bradley, but that's just me.
Oh, okay. Whatever. And then a serviceable backup center.
Serviceable. Mm-hmm.
And then a draft pick that we don't know who or what he is yet.
Right.
I mean, it'll probably be top 3, but it's but who is that? That could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
So then all of that for Kyrie, I say, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't feel like anybody got holes. In fact, I thought it was a pretty even deal.
Right. Now, that is true. I don't believe anybody got holes.
Yeah.
I don't believe anybody got holes. I believe that what I'm concerned about is if I'm the Boston Celtics, then my concern is that is my team, although possibly just as talented or more talented, but is it too different? And then at the same time, that's what a wholesale change could do. Because what you got to realize is that Gordon Hayward has not played with Kyrie Irving on the court.
This is true.
And the players that you have left there are players that you can still mold. You got potential in Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You got Jason Tatum coming in, young. And basically, what the good backbone is that Brad Stevens is still the coach.
Right.
He's good with young players. And I'm thinking if he's willing to hand the reins over to Kyrie, which is not a bad thing to do, per se. And if he can get Kyrie to pay just an ounce of defense, it can make a difference because they lost a lot of perimeter defense. Jaylen Brown's a good defender. But Jaylen Brown and Crowder on your team at the same time makes you formidable on defense.
Sure.
But, you know.
And Marcus Smart is a good defender.
He is.
And the reality is that it doesn't matter how much defense you're playing if you're not scoring buckets. And Jay Crowder wasn't doing anything to take over games. And while Avery Bradley's offense last year kind of picked up, it wasn't like he was somebody that was a Klay Thompson type, I'm taking over, I'm helping you out, Isaiah Thomas.
This is true.
I mean, this guy was Mr. Fourth Quarter for a reason because he was getting all the shots. He was the only one that was really going to be able to do anything with them.
Right.
So it's one of those things, if you can't stop them, then just try to score with them. Hopefully there's some versatility in their offense now that will challenge Cleveland. I still don't know if they have enough to beat Cleveland. But that's only because LeBron's in Cleveland.
That's only because LeBron's in Cleveland.
For now.
For now, we're going to do a whole... Yeah. Right. So, final thought on that. You say that you don't know if they have enough. Do we see a repeat in the Eastern Conference Finals next season with Cleveland and Boston there? And if so, who prevails?
The Golden State Warriors.
That's in the Eastern Conference, man. Follow directions. We know what that is, man. I mean, we know what that is.
So if you're telling me the only thing that I changed is a name on a jersey, Isaiah Thomas is gone. He was Boston's closer. Kyrie's a closer. We're not really trying to focus on defense. We're focused on offense. I think Boston got much better offensively.
Okay.
I think you do still see the same matchup, and I think you do still see Cleveland prevail in the end just because the best player on the planet is still in Cleveland.
Gotcha.
For now.
And whoever comes out in the Eastern Conference got to deal with that.
4 games. Sweet. Get your brooms ready.
Oh, well, that's a real early prediction. But hey, it's fine. I hear you on that. I'm not going to make a foolish prediction like I did last year. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Our track record is pretty clear.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so that's
the end of Boston Cleveland.
That's the end of Boston Cleveland.
There was also a fight that happened.
Oh, okay. Yes, an exhibition.
I mean, it's a fight.
It was a fight.
It was in the ring, they had gloves.
It was sanctioned by the Las Vegas Boxing Commission and all that.
Here's my question to you, though.
Okay.
Were you impressed by Conor McGregor?
Absolutely not. I was not. I was not impressed by Conor McGregor at all because Conor McGregor got in the ring and he was exactly what I thought he was going to be. He looked like an MMA fighter who was trying to box. The fight was, I told these people, to my co-workers, friends, everything, the fight was won as soon as they agreed to fight it in the ring as a boxing match. Floyd Mayweather knew that. And then into the fight. Did you see the fight?
I saw pieces of
the fight. Okay, I saw the fight. I did not pay for it like I proclaimed.
I wasn't paying the $5.
No, the $5, the hundo.
No, I'm just saying it was going to go in. It was going to go in.
Right. I admit no. I found out the household I stayed in had it pre-ordered, so that was cool. I wasn't tripping. All I had to do was flip it on the TV. It was cool.
Right there.
I think that Conor McGregor, being the size that he is, able to maintain that weight, I think it was a longer adjustment period at the beginning of fights like Floyd likes to do.
Yeah.
Floyd likes to figure out who he's fighting and how they're fighting. Something that nobody talked about that I knew by watching the first 3 rounds, even though those 3 rounds were won by McGregor, he had absolutely no punching power.
Oh, yeah.
Floyd Mayweather is not necessarily known for having a chin. Granted, he hasn't taken many shots.
Sure.
He's taken some shots. He's only been down like once or twice in his career, or whatever the case may be. But when I saw him walking through Conor McGregor's punches, that's why when he came out from the 5th round on, and all he was doing was covering his head and walking straight into his chest, taking away the length advantage that McGregor had. Oh, at that point it was elementary. It was arithmetic. It was easy money, just like Mayweather said.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that.
McGregor didn't have no wind, no stamina, just like everybody was worried about. He did not have it because you cannot make up for that many years of boxing in that type of arena and then come over from MMA and just think whatever. I wish it would have happened a little bit sooner, but eventually it was going to happen. McGregor's energy faded sooner and sooner in the rounds as they got later and later. Yeah. So I knew that once he got to the double-digit rounds, I was like, man, I hope Floyd go ahead and knock him out. Now, I will say this. Not the fight. I think the fight was stopped prematurely, meaning that McGregor was robbed or anything. Yeah. But he was saying, let me get to me corner. Let him knock me out. I could wobble back to me corner or whatever he was saying. He is right. I think that put him down. But then again, I agree with what the ref did, and he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's all cool. So it wasn't a robbing type thing that it stopped early. It was just probably about two connected punches early. That's all.
Yeah. What I think you had with the stopping of the fight was nobody wants to see Colin McGregor down on his back trying to get up. You don't want to see that from MMA. Right. You don't want to see that for the possibility of future boxing matches. So for them to stop the fight, that's more of a business thing. Floyd allowing the fight to go double-digit round, that's a business thing. Hey man, I'm not going to destroy you. I'm gonna make it look somewhat respectable. Mm-hmm. I think that's all. That's what that was. Because when he finally started to bring it on, like
it was such a.
I mean, it was a 1-2. Wow, and it was like, oh, he literally can't do anything about these punches.
No, at that stage.
I don't look. For whatever it's worth, for everybody who fought, I mean, are you justified in buying it? I guess.
Well, I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. Because I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. Two things for certain. The two things for certain is that the bags that both them boys took home. They took home a bag each. And Mayweather was the retirement bag.
Yeah.
He took home the retirement. They talking about estimates after everything rolls in over 300 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it ain't even an ultimate hustle. That man is Money Mayweather, and that's what it is. Conor McGregor getting away like a fat rat too at $100 million plus that he's gonna take away for 10 rounds worth of boxing. Okay. Yeah. And not being severely hurt. Yeah, I'd be laughing and smiling too in the club with a black eye after the fight. I don't care.
You giving them 50-0 credit, Mayweather?
Yeah, I'm going to give him 50-0 credit only based off of the fact that it was sanctioned by the place.
Right.
I'm not saying that every opponent that he has to fight was tough. I think with the variables, he had tougher fights, and he even had fights that was not as tough.
Right.
But then the thing about it is that he knew who he was going up against, and he knew that all he had to do was protect himself, not get caught with a super duper lucky punch. He knew he was in there with an inexperienced boxer, and this is what it was, man. This is what it was. But he's 50-0. That don't make him no. I think he's 50-0. Right. I think he's the best boxer in this era. Yes. He's the greatest defensive boxer in this era. Him and Rocky Marciano are two different weight classes.
That's they won.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that people have come out all the time and say he fought people that was some bums. Sure. But it's he's 50-0. You can't take it away from him. That's just what it is.
Yeah, and we have that. That argument is made in every sport.
Yeah. So that's it for that. Ding ding.
Finally.
Boycotting
an NFL. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick.
Shout outs to Colin Kaepernick.
Still doesn't have a job in the NFL, and there are some people out there who are not fans of that
at all.
To the degree that they have decided that they are going to boycott the NFL. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, it's kind of touchy. It's kind of touchy. He supposedly knelt on terms of inequality in our society.
Yes.
Particularly towards people of color.
Yes.
As a person of color, I get it. I understand. I have that militant side of me as well. And that's why like I said, I take my hat off to Colin Kaepernick and support him 100%.
Yeah.
I also love the game of football. I have a personal relationship with football that spans beyond the NFL or whatever. It's just like a childhood thing that you love. I love football.
Right.
The NFL is an association.
True.
Goodell, anybody else in the hierarchy of the NFL cannot make him be on a team.
Right.
They can't go to an owner and say, sign this man. They can't do it.
Nope.
Each owner has to do that.
Right.
And that's where I think the boycotting should be focused. And when I say that, boycott the city or the team in your city. But my thing is that I want to focus more on the owners that had something to say about it, that gave us a little bit of hogwash or bad excuses, and some of these teams that had the opportunity to sign him and didn't.
So like the Baltimore Ravens, what say you? Because the last I heard is that they were still deliberating. Football starts next weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
still deliberating.
The
Miami Dolphins. Jay Cutler. Oh, okay, yeah.
Jay Cutler.
The most success he's ever had as a quarterback, he had with Mr. Gase down in Miami.
That's theoretical.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear no phone calls, no coming out and talking about. I mean, it's Jay Cutler. Colin couldn't get a look.
He couldn't even make it to camp. Put on a cleat.
No, but he couldn't get a look because there was that one time that after the game he had on the Fidel Castro shirt, and the Cuban Americans in Miami, they're not gonna go for that, and the fan base not gonna go for that because that's controversial. How you bring a guy in who had the shirt saying that he was.
You know, when I heard that the Seattle Seahawks was bringing him in, I said, "Oh, he found a home." Because Seattle as a city, Seattle as an organization seemed to be progressive, and they balked and passed on him as well.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say that probably was the best thing that Seattle could do, and here's why.
Okay.
So there got a bunch of guys on Seattle who they don't shy away from controversy. They don't shy away from speaking their mind. Bennett Sherman for sure. They're gonna come out. They're gonna tell you what's going on.
What's really going on, right?
To the degree that, do you remember when they were having issues with Russell Wilson? And like maybe he wasn't quite like the rest of us.
Right.
So picture this: you have Russell Wilson, who, mind you, is a far superior pocket passer to Colin Kaepernick, but not so much superior that we still don't focus on. I mean, we still focus on Russell Wilson's legs.
Absolutely.
Now, when you talk about the difference between Russell Wilson running the football at quarterback and Colin Kaepernick running the football, so what if Colin comes in, Russell gets hurt, and Kaepernick's able to do a lot of the things that Russell was able to do? And he fits in better with the locker room. And he is more on the same line as some of your more prominent players on the team. Then you start to have some chemistry issues because Russell just might not be their guy.
Well, you know why Russell Wilson in that scenario is their guy? Comparative contracts. So you can say whatever you want. They backed up 2 trucks for Russell Wilson. So on paper, on dried ink, he's their man no matter what. So I feel what you're saying. Purely football wise, to me, that's like when I say a perfect fit, you're right. To have a backup guy that can come in and do some of the same things as a starter, that's a perfect scenario to have when you're on a football team, when you're strictly talking about ability, skill set, all those other things. Now, when you start talking about the chemistry as far as off-field, locker room, and other stuff like that, man, that would be a heck of a thing to push the starter out, injury or otherwise, but that don't mean that it ain't real. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but I mean, again, just the progressiveness of the city and the organization, and even the free spirit of the head coach Pete Carroll. Yeah. I was like, this guy may actually get a solid chance, and I'm glad he's going to land in Seattle. And it was the NFC West, so I was like, cool, we get to play the 49ers, all that. But no, didn't happen.
I really think it had a lot to do with what happens if Russell gets hurt, Colin performs, and then people in the locker room are loving Kaepernick more than Wilson, and we just paid all that money. Can we really allow this to happen? I really think that had more to do with it versus we don't know if this guy can win games, and we're afraid of fan backlash.
Right. It's kind of nipping it at the bud early, so you have to worry about it. So, question.
Yeah.
Do you think that the boycotting movement or energy, do you think it's enough to actually make fans stop going to games, stop watching football?
No, because a lot of the people that are impacted by what Kaepernick was kneeling for in the first place, they don't make up the majority, nor do they make up the buying public in the NFL.
Right.
These are not the people that are going to put a halt on the money, if you will.
Right.
Let's be for real. The people that spend the most money at NFL games, they don't look like us.
Mm-hmm.
And when those people are conveniently silent on issues, regardless of whether they agree or disagree, but their silence, again, is often more deafening than the loud boisterous voices of ignorance and stupidity. So when you don't step up and say we're boycotting, the people who are actually out there talking about they boycotting the NFL, the 32 owners look and say,
right.
What's $50?
That's a shame. That's bad. Yeah, the players would have to have like a league-wide movement, a strike, a boycott of playing. And guess what? So they're predicting that there's going to be a work stoppage soon in the NFL. Y'all might want to start petitioning the NFLPA for guaranteed contracts. Because see, if you protest and you jam stuff up, your stuff ain't guaranteed, they will cut you at any time. NFL, get it together. Players Association, y'all need to get that together and fight a little bit harder for those guaranteed contracts.
Right.
We're starting to see a little bit more guaranteed money here and there. You know, we'll talk about that later. $92 million.
I mean, my thing is, if you're the players and you really want to get some strength and some gumption back into your association, show up on the first day. Get paid. And when it's time to actually kick off, both sides, the kicking team and the receiving team, just take a knee.
Just take a knee.
You're there. It's not like you didn't show up.
Yeah.
You got to get paid because you're there. Just take a knee.
See, that's that mentality, man. Hey, man, I see my boy Colin, man, but I got to feed my family, man. I can't put that in jeopardy. That's one of the reasons why I back Colin Kaepernick, because essentially what he ended up doing was putting his career on the line. Mm-hmm. And I do think he's being blackballed. I do think they're looking at that, and they're looking at the wrong reasons for not signing him. For him to do something that's well within his rights as a human being, as a player on that team at the time that he did it, it's utterly ridiculous that this should be the backlash. And it's kind of messed up because it's kind of like outside of the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be governed because it's outside of the rules. And that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Decertify. Get rid of the NFLPA, just become individuals, and then make your stand stronger as individuals. Then you don't have to worry about the guy trying to feed his family.
You're right.
If you decertify the union, maybe get more done because there's no more union and there's no more, but you got to eat hanging over your head.
Right.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Sucks he ain't got no job, though.
It really does suck that.
If you want a job, I'm assuming he want a job. I ain't heard no different. Everybody want to come out and say, oh, do we even know if Colin wants a job? He ain't said he didn't.
Yeah.
And his quarterback's going down. He ain't getting no phone calls. I'm just saying.
Man. Somebody else said that the reason why sometimes the boycott and even maybe like Colin Kaepernick's movement per se loses steam is because they don't have a defined set of goals to attain. Like if he's protesting inequality, what does he want to see different so that it can be achieved, so then that way people can quote unquote stop protesting, stop demonstrating and stuff like that. And I would say that about, again, the militant side of me, different parts of my life. I've protested before, I've done things before. I was very militant in college and everything like that. You do have to have a set goal. I wish that Colin Kaepernick would have said that I want the NFL to release a statement that says it supports equality across the board in all. And that could have been literally the start and the finish of it if you had Goodell come out. And I can see the NFL agreeing to something like that because it's very PC.
Yeah. And
it's very it's touchy, but if you handle it the right way, it can go over real smooth and there won't be no problems. And in that way, but the NFL though would have to understand that if their players wanted to sit, kneel, hold up the fist, do whatever, that's still all well and fine. And especially if the owners, head coaches, and if they don't feel like it's caused a problem in the locker room, they'll do it.
Same NFL that dragged its feet and continues on some level to drag its feet on domestic violence.
Yeah, the NFL, it makes it feel like it's a big bumbling fool sometimes because it just ain't, it's kind of like they didn't turn a blind eye to so many issues within its own league. Now that it has time, it's like, where's that in the manual? You don't have any process or procedure in the manual, and that's where the problem is. And that's a problem within itself.
Don't smoke weed though, because they'll bring that game ban on you with quickness.
With the quickness.
Shout out to the NFL.
Shout out to the NFL.
Got a fantasy draft coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, we do got a fantasy. What time? Yeah, we do got a fantasy. Yeah, we do. You know what? We got me and him in the same league. He won last year. He's a buster, whatever. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it right there. Like I said, hey, we know we've been telling for a long time. We're going to have some different avenues of social media. Hey, we're going to get it to you as soon as we can. I know it's not quite professional. It's unprofessional.
Right.
And that's what we are. Like always, it's your boy Cliff.
And Caesar.
And we're going to holler at you next time.
Peace.